Mobili. The top 10 best super naked motorbikes of 2024. Dumping a load of power into a bike with no wind protection whatsoever is a silly idea. And we're all for it. The super naked segment is perhaps the most exciting of all in the motorcycle world, and the fact that the name super naked will sound bizarre to non-bike literate folk is a big bonus. We've gathered together what we reckon are the 10 best super nakeds you can buy, based on extensive, and very blustery, testing on road and track. 10. MV Agusta Brutale 1000 RR. The bonkers Brutale 1000 RR is one of the most powerful bikes here, but also by far the most expensive, which is why it's propping up the bottom of our list of super nakeds. If you can stomach the wallet-ruining £32,000 price tag, you'll be treated to a thrilling motorcycle producing 205 brake horsepower from the same inline-4 found in the also spendy MV Agusta F4 1000 Superbike. The top speed, if you dare venture to it, is more than 186 miles per hour. The riding position of the Brutale isn't much more relaxed than the bike's fully fared sibling, owing to MV Agusta's decision to dispense with the straight bars that are the norm for naked bikes and fit clip-ons, albeit slightly raised ones. If that sounds like a recipe for too many aches and pains, there is the flat bar RS version. Whichever one you go for, you're treated to one of the naughtiest looking exhaust arrangements in modern motorcycling. 9. Suzuki GSX-S1000. With the iconic GSX or 1000 fading from price lists, its distant, naked relative, the Suzuki GSX-S1000, soldiers on having received its last significant update in 2021. While the sunken, minimalist front-end arrangement won't be to everyone's taste, the Suzuki GSX-S1000 succeeds in looking more contemporary than what lies underneath that edgy exterior. Nevertheless, the GSX-S1000 has stood the test of time well with its involving riding experience, while the 999 cubic centimeters inline-4 keeping things brisk out on the open road. Its age notwithstanding, the Suzuki GSX-S1000 is well priced in this company at £11,699, while its mechanicals are sturdy and the SIRS, Suzuki Intelligent Ride System, is a value-added boon. 8. Honda CB1000R. Honda has never had any trouble when it comes to practical, comfortable, sensible motorcycles, which is probably why the Japanese giant has always struggled when it comes to building bonkers, badass ones. Based on the previous generation CBR1000RR Fireblade, the Honda CB1000 are never quite cut it when first introduced in 2008. Criticized mostly for being at a detuned 130 brake horsepower, a little soft, and with its smooth 4 being a touch characterless, even if it was a decent, all-round bike. But this latest version, updated for 2021, gets closer to the super naked brief but remains a long way off its distant cousin, the new generation Honda CBR1000RR Fireblade. Dominated by its neo-cafe styling, the chiseled looks are still sharp, while the introduction of the Black Edition flagship during the last update gives the Honda CB1000 a range more gravitas with its modest, yet stealthy all-black livery. Alas, the CB1000R is now lacking in most areas compared to newer competition, not least in the power stakes with its 143 brake horsepower looking pedestrian by comparison. Nevertheless, it's refined and has a sporty undertone, while the chassis encourages you to push on even if there is nothing too super about it in the racy sense. There is, however, the CB1000 Hornet on the way, which is likely to prove a spicier machine than the CB1000R, which it may replace outright in time. 7. Kawasaki Z H2. Cut from a similar cloth as the KTM 1290 Super Duke R, the similarly bonkers Kawasaki Z H2 was beginning to look a little tired in this company, even if it remains a riot of fun. In your face, aggressive and loud, the Z H2 wears its supercharged heart on its sleeve, so while you're unlikely to sway anyone towards a Z H2 if their heart is set on a Streetfighter V4S, spend a bit of time with the Kawasaki and you might find you'll have more fun. The Revy 999 cubic centimeters, 197 brake horsepower engine gives the Z H2 ballistic-like qualities, while it certainly delivers when you unleash its full potential by being blisteringly fast with all the whistling blower drive and chirpy overrun that goes with it. While the jagged edges of the design unashamedly Kawasaki though they are won't be to everyone's taste, the ZH2 does feel well put together, is compliant at lower speeds and well kitted out, though, at a starting price of £19,799, it isn't terribly cheap. 6. KTM 1390 Super Duke R Evo. If you want a spectacularly powerful naked, KTM has two to pick from: the 1390 Super Duke R and 1390 Super Duke R Evo. The main differentiating factor is suspension, with the Evo gaining fancy pants semi-active suspension from KTM's in-house WP brand. It's the one we'd go for of the pair, but even with the clever damping tech, it is still a firm, uncompromising bike on the road. That said, the 1390 Super Duke R Evo is easier to get on with than the 1290 it replaces thanks both to an improved electronics package and the new, more flexible engine. The new 1,350 cubic centimeters LC8 V-twin is also more powerful than before, not that the 1290 was ever lacking in this department, pumping out an unholy 190 brake horsepower and 107 pounds-foot, so it still hasn't quite joined the 200 club, but it's still ballistically fast, and even if KTM has made its riding attitude a little friendlier, it remains the wild child of the super naked segment. 5. Aprilia Tuono V4 1100. Aprilia's naked version of the superb RS-V4 superbike has been impressing with both its performance and class-leading electronics for almost a decade now and is regarded as the best of all super nakeds. Eked out to 175 brake horsepower in its most recent 1,100 cubic centimeters form in 2015, the Aprilia Tuono V4 1100 has been updated 3 times since, with 2 versions, the standard entry-level version and the more formidable Aprilia Tuono V4 1100 Factory. Though certainly aging against newer opposition, especially the increasingly anonymous styling, the Tuono V4 is brimming with clever tech and gadgets that have filtered down from Aprilia's successful MotoGP department. Indeed, the latest factory version is not only powerful and grunty, it comes with semi-active suspension and class-leading electronics. Think of it as the purest super/hyper naked. 4. BMW M1000R. After the arrival of BMW's famous M to its motorcycle division in 2021 and the derivation the BMW M1000RR superbike from the established S1000RR, the Munich marque applied the same treatment to the super naked category, where the M1000R was derived from the S1000R in 2022, and its return for 2023. Super aggressive styling is essentially the norm for this category by now, and BMW exaggerates this on the M1000R with the addition of aerodynamic wings to the upper part of the front bodywork. That aggression in the styling is matched in the performance, with 0 to 62 miles per hour achievable in 3.2 seconds and a top speed of 174 miles per hour thanks to outputs of 210 brake horsepower and 83 pounds-foot. That's almost 50 brake horsepower more than the S1000R, and, of course, it's all electronically controllable via a suite of assists that are integrated into the 5 riding modes: Rain, Road, Dynamic, Race and Race Pro. With a quick shifter, a redline of 14,600 RPM, and a titanium Akrapovic pipe, there is little about the M1000R to keep BMW restricted to lowly depths of the super naked class. Really, this one's more of a hyper naked. The fully configurable Dynamic Pro mode is also available with a wider range of setting options as part of the Riding Modes Pro option. With Riding Modes Pro, the new S1000R also features the engine brake control. It satisfies the BMW loyalists perfectly, but it isn't the most exciting selection among some accomplished rivals. 3. Yamaha MT-10. The big daddy among Yamaha's masters of torque range, or MT to you and me, the 2023 Yamaha MT-10 received a major overhaul in 2022 that brings it right back up to the sharp end of the super naked motorcycle ranking. With a toned-down version of Yamaha's divisive dark theme styling direction, the MT-10 is all the better for it, appearing mean and moody, if a little fussy in places, while everything feels well put together and ergonomic once you throw a leg over. Though some may feel a little shortchanged by Yamaha not chasing headlines by mimicking the R1's near 200 bhp grunt, the MT-10 feels all the more usable with its 163 brake horsepower and a focus on providing more torquey pulling power lower down the rev range. Little tweaks over the still very capable previous generation have made a positive impact, proving fun to ride, quick enough, well kitted out, and at a starting price of £14,210, good value in this competition. 2. Ducati Streetfighter V4. Following its high-profile debut in 2020, the 2023 Ducati Streetfighter V4 has been given a replenishing nip and tuck for 2023 with minor but well-judged upgrades consolidating its status as the most accomplished model in this class dynamically. With Ducati mostly fettling the electronics to provide more confidence in sketchy conditions, provide more fun on track, and, perhaps most importantly, help calm things down a bit on the open road, the base Streetfighter V4 is every inch a playful machine no matter where you take it. This is largely thanks to Ducati's meaty 208 brake horsepower, 1,103 cubic centimeters V4 engine. For the more advanced rider, the lighter Ducati Streetfighter V4S will get you to the ragged edge more quickly, but you won't find a more deliciously entertaining motorcycle in this class so long as you don't mind splashing out on a hefty starting price of £21,095. 1. Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RS. As far as updates go, the Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RS represents a leap over its predecessor in all areas, successfully stranding the accessibility of a milder super naked while tapping into some of the mania that defines the so-called hyper nakeds. Launched in 2020, Triumph has blessed the Speed Triple 1200 RS with a more potent 178 brake horsepower triple cylinder, which sounds irresistible and feels quick without the excess, while on the road it is responsive, yet still refined and flexible at lower speeds, an impression matched by the well-balanced chassis. While the price have risen to just shy of £16,000, the Speed Triple 1200 RS complements this with a plethora of tech and equipment, all screwed together as well as would be expected from Triumph. Better still, if the naked RS doesn't do it for you, there is also the cafe racer-inspired Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RR with its half-fairing and sports bike leaning.
I hope to inspire you and help you learn more about your favorite theme. Subscribe to my channel and let me know what you think.